Hello everyone and welcome to Comment Below, a podcast where we talk about the news and the topics of the week, but more importantly, what has been commented below. We delve into the mess that is our social media, finding the stories you may or may not be talking about. Isn't that right, Ben?
That is correct, Alex. And normally I will go on a subject at this moment when I say Alex, but it's over to you, I think, for this week. A bit of a change in format.
Before we get started, as we always say, we'd love to know what you've been commenting on the news this week. If you want to look us up on X, formerly known as Twitter, at Comment Below Pod, Instagram at Comment Below _pod. You can also email us commentbelowpod@gmail.com. If you like listening to our voices, wait until you see our faces, and you can if you go to YouTube and search Comment Below Podcast or BAM Productions, and you'll find a full video podcast on there right now. Don't forget to subscribe, ring the bell.
There's graphics.
There's graphics.
Yeah, it's all going on.
If you like the graphics and you want to give us a bit of an applause to say thank you for the graphics, then don't forget to go to buymeacoffee.com/faithful, and you can also throw some money our way if you can. Don't feel like you have to. It's not obliged. It's just one of those things, isn't it? But another way you can promote us is by telling your friends, sharing our podcast, and giving us 5-star reviews. And the reason why you've given us 5 stars on your favourite podcast app. Now, Ben, this week, you've just completed book 2 of the First to Die at the End series. Or the last to
Deathcast series.
Is that what they call Deathcast?
Yeah.
There you go, Deathcast series. I've read the first book, but you've read both of them. And there's a third on the way.
Mm-hmm. Anyone who does the video podcast will see last week I was reading the last book. This week I just finished this one.
You've ploughed through those books.
So,
They must be good. 10 out of 10? No notes?
Oh, 10 out of... I've done them as 5 out of 5 stars, but I'd say 8.5, 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
5 out of 10.
Well, surely if you double up 5, it makes 10.
No.
No? Okay.
No.
Wow.
5 stars and
Harsh critic.
10 out of 10 is different. But they are very good games. They are very good books.
Thank goodness people can only rate our podcast 5, because we'd be having 8.5 all over the place.
Exactly.
But it made my head scratch.
Mm-hmm.
It made my head itch, and then I scratched it and made me think of Would You Rather game. So I thought I'd ask you a question.
Okay, well, the book is they get told that they're going to die that day, basically. It's a thing in the world.
They get a phone call.
Yes.
It's set in kind of the current world, but in a kind of alternative of the world. And they get a phone call at the beginning of the day, and it's like, you're going to die in 24 hours. Have fun.
And that's it.
See ya.
They know.
And they know, but they don't know how they're going to die. And that's the question, Ben.
Right.
Would you rather know how you die or when you die?
If you knew how, though, you'd then not do those things.
It's fate. You can't change things. Again, we've been watching the TV series Bodies. You cannot change unless something changes.
Got 2 episodes to go.
But you cannot change. If it's meant to happen, it's meant to be.
Probably. Oh, I don't know. Probably know how I'm gonna die. Maybe.
You'd rather know how you're going to die.
Yeah.
What if it's like really gruesome, like you fall into like an alligator pit, or you get
just
more
what I have
like
to look out
cats?
for. I
Yeah,
don't
but
know.
you
But
look out, yeah, but
knowing when, you'll always be on like you always be thinking.
but
about
knowing
the
how,
time.
you'll always be like, oh.
Yeah. Well.
Obviously, the ultimate answer is neither. But like, would you? Well,
I don't see how it's helpful to know when. That's not going to help me.
I'd rather know when.
Once you know how much time you have.
Yeah, because then you can make the most of the time you have. Plus, you can really
You
burn
can draw
some
your
bridges.
pension early, just in case you don't.
I could do that. I could burn some, like I said, I could burn some bridges. I could tell people how I feel. Goodness me, Ben, that podcast would be amazing. The things I'd say to you.
As you know, on EastEnders this week, they said someone thought they were going to die. They burnt all their bridges and they lived, and then they had their friends.
Linda, it was a
So
pub that she ran with her mum before she met Mick, or something along those lines.
something like that. So you just don't know. What about you then, Ants? So you would
I'd rather
rather
know when,
not how.
not how. I don't want to know how, because if in case it.
What if it's like in your
correct.
sleep, and you're like, oh, good,
That's fine.
Okay, that's it.
Yeah. But
Nothing to worry about.
It wouldn't be that. It would be honestly. If it's you find out how you die, it's gonna be something bad. Do you remember when you were at college? I suppose we were at college at different times because I'm a bit older than you. But like everyone
Far
was
older.
obsessed with a website called Death Clock. Do you remember
it
that?
predicted your death?
And it predicted your death. And look, and there were people who genuinely thought, yeah, that's it. That's my death. That's when I'm going to die.
I can't remember what mine was on that.
Oh, nor
website.
can I. To be fair, I did it so many times, the date and then at time changed all the time. But then it makes you think, is it because fate's now aligning itself to the correct time at deathclock.com? Does deathclock.com still exist? I'm going to have a quick look.
I remember there was a really bad website when Britney Spears shaved her head saying you can bet when Britney Spears will die and you win like an iPad.
Oh, that's
And it was really awful. Yeah, that's the type of culture the noughties was.
Well, you're quite right. Although we did follow a lettuce until
Yeah, but that was good.
Truss was got mode. What is mode? Oh, would you say I'm pessimistic, sadistic, or optimistic? I'd say I'm quite optimistic.
You'd rather know when you die and not how. So
Yeah. What's my BMI?
no.
I don't know.
This death clock is advanced.
It's really moved on.
Last time you just put a name in, didn't you? You put your birthday in, and then it gave you a
It's
death
got my
date.
birthday, my sex, my mode, so optimistic, and my BMI. I think I've got like 28, 29.
Thrilling.
Wait, Gary, do you want to know when I'm going to die?
Yes.
Thursday, the 18th of March, 2077.
77.
I've got 1,682,877,337 seconds left to live.
Right.
And I'm using them right now, telling you that I'm going to die on the 18th.
Well, 77 is quite good, actually. Will the world still be around then? Who knows?
Yeah, do you want to know when you're
back.
going to die?
No.
Okay. Oh, but no, you'd rather know how.
Yeah.
If only there was a website for that. There you go. You're missing a market audience there.
Well, there you go. That was lovely. Talk about death.
Yeah,
always love
subject
it.
to start with. Fun.
So what are we doing this week then? What are we chatting through?
Oh, well, but there's been
There's all sorts on here,
lovely
I'd say.
stories this week. I feel like we've kind of moved again. We keep saying we need to stop doing politics. We're not doing politics. We're starting off with 35 years ago, in the age of 1988, Thatcher was still Prime Minister.
I was born.
You were born.
Mm.
I was 5. And there was a TV series on ITV called Blind Date. And with Arcilla and our Graham, who used to do the roundup at the end. She used to do summing up of each date. And basically, it was 3 people behind a screen, and then someone asked questions, and then they chose one of the 3 people to go on a blind date with. And it was never normally that successful, but it was a bit of fun, a bit of whimsy.
You're a journalist.
That's where that came from.
That's like the only bit I know from that.
Look that up on YouTube. A journalist went on the show to try to find out some secret about it, and Cilla Black found out and called her out live on television. Blind Date in its heyday used to get about 18, 19 million viewers in the UK. So it was a big deal. It was a huge show.
That's the Cilla.
That's the Cilla effect.
Mm-hmm.
And in 1988, a guy called Alex chose number 2, and his blind date was Sue.
Cool rhymes.
Yeah. And 35 years later, they're still married. They got married in 1991, and they're still together. They've had 2 kids. And the reason it's been brought up is because a TikToker, they made out as if they've stumbled upon them, but I'm not sure. I think it was a little bit set up. But the Daily Mail found it.
A lot of those videos where they walk up to people and ask them questions are like all fake.
Yeah.
Like, well, the other day, someone like walked up and it was like Justin Bieber, and it was like, "Can I have a look around your flat?" He was like, "Yeah, cool." And it's like, what's going on here? But there's loads of things. Like, it wasn't Justin Bieber, but it was along those lines.
Was it like Vogue magazine used to do the thing when they used to knock on their door and be like, "Can we ask you 22 questions?"
And they still do that, 70 questions.
Yeah. And it's like that's meant to be like they're just off the hook, and ad hoc. So what I'm going for. Anyway, they bumped into them on the street, and they asked them, how did you meet? And they showed clips. And it's just a really sweet story. I just think it's really mad to think that like this little TV show in 1988 got 2 people together, and they've been married. And they genuinely, if you watch the TikTok video, we'll probably show it on a clip of it on here. You can clearly see they're still in love. Like they're sweet together. They're really nice, and it's lovely to see. And it's made me wonder. With dating shows now,
Are we still in love?
Are we still in love? And with dating shows today, like we were watching on ITV2 a show called Dress to Impress, where someone asks 3 people to buy them clothes. And
Can I just say that we weren't watching it? It was just on.
It was on the background, so they got a rating from us. But shows like Naked Attraction, when you put 6 people in a box naked, but they show parts of their body, starting with their willies and their vaginas.
You see Sue's number 2 there.
Can you imagine Alex, right, in the centre with the presenter, and then the music goes, and then the box, we obviously watch it, the box lifts up, and then you see Sue's foo-foo, Sue's little tuppence.
Yeah, well,
would it
times
have the same
changed.
effect? Would there have been a wedding 4 years
I don't think
later?
there's any couples from Naked Attraction, because the people who go on Naked Attraction just do it to have sex. They literally say it as they walk out down the alleyway. They're like, let's just skip the date. And then they flash, and they're like, oh yeah, we had sex that night, and then that was it. It's like, well, why do the show? But
maybe they are trying to find love, but they're just. What are you going to do? It's animal instinct. You're seeing this person naked.
I think
anything
people
else.
who go on Naked Attraction are just trying to get their OnlyFans some new subscribers. Because a lot of them are from OnlyFans.
Are they actually? I thought, no. Really?
Well, a few of them. I'm sure
I
there
think
are.
that's unfair. I don't think that's true.
My zero research said that's how I feel.
So you're right. So basically something you just popped into your head.
No, I think it's true.
But there are other dating shows like Take Me Out as well. But you said there's been a wedding on Take Me Out as well.
Yeah, I saw TikTok. I don't know how random that TikTok was. But yeah, that one, they said they met on Take Me Out, and it was the trend on TikTok saying, it was like, did we make it? ? And then you swipe the picture and it's like, yes, we did, or no, we didn't. Have you seen them? Normally it's people who are dead. No. It's like people who are dead saying, did I make it? And you swipe along, it's like, died, blah, blah. Okay.
Hang on. So what, did they make it whether they survived life?
Well, the trend's different, but on that one, it was, did we make it? And it was them on Take Me Out, and then it swiped it, and there was a family photo.
They're dead?
No, this one, they weren't dead. There was a family photo of them with 2 kids.
Oh, I've just found them on online.
Online.
Yeah, they it was 4 years ago. Dave and Adele. Actually, there's been a few weddings on Take Me Out.
How's there?
Yes, there's 3 at
All
least.
straight and white, I see.
Well, of course, they're straight and white.
Just so we don't get taken off air for being called Comment Below, Kavana on the Daily Mail website said, a wonderful story of love and commitment.
Well, I've got comments also on the TikTok video.
Oh. Scylla was evil.
Well, no, Vicky.Fox says, I'm sure it was the first time Cilla Black bought herself a new hat for the first blind date wedding. Old enough to remember it too. The wedding itself was broadcast on ITV too. It got 17.5 million viewers. It's a mad world.
Did ITV pay for it?
Yes, they did. They paid for the whole thing.
No
Do you
wonder
reckon that's why they
Scylla
did it?
turned up.
Yeah. Oh, of course she turned up. For a camera, that's our Scylla, that is.
I saw a clip of her singing on a train yesterday on TikTok again. Her voice is so bad.
Well, singing, Cilla Black.
How did she have a singing career?
Didn't someone say that it was because at the time it was like northern soul music was very popular, the Beatles were very popular.
But none of it sounded good. Not one word that she was singing.
I do like her, What's It All About? Obviously she's not Cockney. Alfie! I like that song.
She just got a very big voice, but it doesn't mean it's good. It's just never ending.
She was a good presenter.
Power of it.
Like all the shows do you remember the TV show Moment of Truth? Where she used to, oh my God, it was brilliant. That was Saturday night as well. So she'd get a family, right? And then one of the family members, normally the mum or the dad, sometimes the child, which made it even crueler, had to learn a skill within a week. So for instance, learn every single underground station in London or something like that, right? And then they would then, with their family in front of them, have to perform like a task related to what they've learned. And if they fail, but before that, they would be like, and here's all the prizes you could win. And be like, the kids will win a trip to Disneyland and blah, blah, blah. And then if they failed in front of the children, they would then just close the screen over their pieces. And then the kids would just sit there looking like, oh.
What's it called?
The Moment of Truth. It was a Japanese format.
That's why
it's a bit cruel. Yeah. But I loved that. I genuinely loved it. When I saw... Like, it's one of those shows, like, if they won, then I was really happy for them. If they lost, then my heart broke for them. But at the same time, it was a little bit twinge of, that's quite funny. But it was a great game show. It was a really good game show. There she is, juggling.
It looks like the same set as Blind Date. All her sets look the same.
If you look at all Saturday night TV shows, they all look the same in the 80s and the 90s. If you look like Beatles About or Barrymore or anything like that, they all look the same.
I think the hair theory is such a truth. Have you heard about the hair theory where people just look... No, people look old, like the Golden Girls.
Yeah.
Like, they're not actually that old, but it's like the hair. Her hair makes her look really old, like, all the time. It's like she never looks young. Never looks young. It's the hair. If you put a modern haircut on her, she looks...
How dare you say she doesn't look... Remember she did the Royal Variety performance and she wore that really tight...
That's what I mean. But her hair theory...
No, Cilla Black is forever young. Even though,
she
she's died. Yes, yeah. Yeah. I love Cilla Black.
Although she's meant to be nasty, isn't she?
I don't think she was nasty. I just think she had a particular way of doing things. On BBC Two, they followed her around, didn't they, for a documentary? And like that's where the whole her eating, was it like a piece of orange and she'd wipe
no, it was gravy granules. She dipped gravy granules in it and ate it.
Oh, that's how she keeps so slender and sweet. But no, God bless Cilla Black. And good luck again for the future. Well, I think Sue and Alex have nothing to worry about because, like, throughout the whole video.
So you're wishing Cilla Black good luck for the future then?
No, Sue and Alex. I hope Sue and Alex are listening or watching the podcast. And if you are, then I love you both because
I'm sure they are.
TikTok on TikTok. Honestly, it's the most beautiful thing in the world. Like, you can genuinely see how in love they are still. And like, he was constantly looking at her, smiling. They're grabbing each other's hand. Honestly, it's the sweetest thing. Like I said, we'll post a clip on the podcast, but if you can search it out, then look for it.
Do you know who else said Tic Tac instead of TikTok recently? A GB News presenter.
Really?
Esther McVeigh. Well, ex-GB News presenter, because she's now the Minister of stopping woke.
Yeah, she's trying to stop.
She said Tic Tac, like you just did. So
if GB News want to give me a job, I'm not shy. I don't mind. I'll do it. It'd be fun. That'd be funny.
No. Right. So next subject then is self-service tills.
Love
backlash begins.
I've got nothing against them whatsoever, and I hate anyone who says otherwise.
I love self-service tills. So much easier, better.
Talk to anyone, you have to make small talk. Sometimes you just want to go in, do your shop. You don't want to talk to anyone. You just want to put your head down. And do you know what makes it even more better? If that's a sentence that's just structured properly.
You really are, GP. More better. What?
The scanners. You go in, you scan your club card, get a scanner, beep, 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 out.
Mm-hmm.
Not one interaction.
Much
one. Anyway.
Well, the supermarket. I've never been to the supermarket. It's Booths, which is meant to be the Northern Waitrose.
Is it?
So it's a posh one. No, but she does like it.
Oh.
Very well. Does anyone know who Grace Booth is? I'm sure they don't.
Get in touch, let us know.
So they have decided that they are getting rid of all self-service checkouts, and it is a joyous decision.
Well, yes, because
says Michael Deacon from the Daily Telegraph.
The Telegraph won. But let's be honest, it sounds like to me, if it's been compared to as the Northern Waitrose, do you think the clientele are of a certain age ratio?
Yeah. I mean, there's no reason not to use self-service, even if you're old, because they've been around for like over 15 years now.
Yeah, absolutely.
But apparently, one of the reasons are that a survey showed, it's like I'm on a game show now, that self-service tills increased the likelihood.
You're on TV News this week.
Increased the likelihood of shoplifting. So that's one of the reasons why they may have done it.
Fine, okay, but no, I still don't. Well, I just think you should at least have the option. I mean, if they've pulled out all of their checkout, because don't get me wrong, there are supermarkets that have done that. The Asda near where I used to live down south have literally taken out all of their checkouts.
Good.
Man checkouts, bar like 2 at the very end. And I get that can be frustrating to some people. But to have the option of either one or the other, I think is perfectly fine.
Emily Watkins from the iPaper, she says it supposedly is a time-saving innovation. So they're saying that automated ones waste time. It's like, no, they don't. They're much quicker.
Again, though, it's when people start
weighing loose produce.
Yeah, when people start putting things down and they've not scanned them properly, and
summoning staff to verify your age for booze.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, but when you're on a checkout, if you're under 18, you have to do that yourself anyway.
Well, only if the person who's serving.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Is
so
under 21, isn't it?
I don't think time saving.
Carol, can I serve this person? And Carol's like, let's have a look. Yeah, go on then. I love it when that happens. It's like, can I serve them? This little 16-year-old.
I remember when I was working at Tesco and I turned 18 before the other people I was friends with, and they had to ask me. I was like, yep.
Did you used to say yes to everyone?
Turn around, let me check.
Didn't you used to...
If they were fit, I'd let them do it.
Yeah, I bet you did. I bet you flipping did. Didn't you also used to... was this liable? Did you used to also like scan one thing and put the second thing next to it so it looked like you scanned them together?
Maybe.
I've heard rumours that that's what you did.
It was for one of our friends' 18th birthday, and we'd got a lot of booze.
Yes.
For like £2.50. But I was leaving anyway, so it didn't matter.
Yeah, Sodom.
I used to give away the little vouchers for like computers for schools as well.
God,
I used to give like the whole like thing to the people. If the person was nice to me, I'd give them loads. And if they're rude, I'd give them like the one.
Wow.
So, be nice to your checkout staff.
Well, no, that should go without saying.
Or just get self-service. None of this.
Yes.
Saying shoplifting decreases from the staff, probably.
Well, can I also say that if you're at a checkout or at a kiosk and someone's serving you, I don't work in retail, but I have worked in retail, and when someone uses their mobile phone and just has a conversation with someone else on their mobile phone while they're serving you,
It's a running theme for us supermarkets. This is the third week in a row.
Obsessed.
If it's not politics,
It's
it's
supermarket.
supermarket.
I've never been to a Boots though. I'm curious now.
No, we
to
have
know
to
what
go
Boots
north
is.
and find one.
But we'd have to go south from where
To
we
the
are.
north,
Yes.
which is south.
Well,
You
yes.
still go to the north.
No, you said we'd have to go north.
Yeah, I
You're
know.
thinking of where we used to live, but we now live above the north in another country.
So do you support self-service tills? Do you
Yes, 100%.
So you want them?
I want them all to be self-service. In fact, I want all supermarkets. I don't like Amazon as a company per se, but I do love the idea of going into a shop, literally putting things in a bag and then just leaving the shop and not having to
That's the
worry
way
about
to stop shoplifters, isn't it?
Yeah, it's smart, it's clever. 100% in the future, do that. There's nothing wrong with that whatsoever.
Right, so what is the next story? I think the next one's yours, which I have no idea what it is.
Oh,
it's
yes.
this
So
one.
there has been a rise in car theft in one of the
Why are you happy about this?
because it's just funny. In one of the richest places in the UK, which is Chelsea, London. The Sun has reported it as it's spiraling into a GTA game. That's how crazy it's going. Apparently, car thefts are basically happening left, right, and centre in this borough. And all the cars are being found in Russia because apparently there's a shortage of cars in Russia. But that seems like a lot of work for like a car.
Yeah.
Also, if you're going to steal cars, surely steal them nearer to Russia.
I thought cars were like more difficult to steal now because they're like electric and don't have
because
keys and stuff like that, and
stuff like that.
you can track them and stuff.
Well, I don't know. Car theft.
It's this old people that don't like self-service tills who are buying cars that they don't
Well-
understand and can't track.
Jeff Waters is in a bit of a pickle apparently because this
Who's he?
81-year-old man who's talking to the Sun newspaper about this news, said that he's having trouble. This really is first world problems for this guy. He is having trouble insuring his £125,000 Porsche. I mean, these tears are real, Ben. These tears that are being forced out my eyes.
125,000.
The Chelsea resident of 45 years, may I add. So he's lived there 45 years. He's never seen anything like it in his life.
That's necessary information.
He said, I understand from people talking that there is a problem with high-end cars in this area. So perhaps maybe, downgrade your car or just have a crappy car that you leave in the street.
I could never drive a car that's worth 125,000. I'd be too scared. I'd want it to be stolen, but I don't want the responsibility.
So would I. When I see someone driving their car, especially when people have really expensive cars and they're driving like idiots on the motorway, I just think to myself, you're an idiot. Just like my car, which I've spent more than I want to on a car. We were talking to each other, weren't we? Saying like having a car is like the biggest headache in our lives because there's always something that needs to be fixed. Like always something. There's a tyre wrong with it, or the fan belt's gone, or the heating's not quite warmed up properly, so it needs to be filtered.
Why can't he insure it just because there's so many thefts? Is that the reason?
Well, it's too much money. It's too
the insurance.
Sure, yeah. So he's been told by his insurance group that there is a way around this, and you could put a tracker in your car. But no, he wants none of this.
If it gets stolen, he's
Jeff
fine.
doesn't want to put a tracker in his car.
Well, that's why it gets stolen.
Do you know why? Because it's going to cost
Conspiracy theory?
him £600. Yeah, and also they'll be able to read his mind. But no, he doesn't want to pay that. He doesn't want to pay £600 for a tracker on his £125,000.
They should have put a tracker in there automatically if you bought one for that much, surely. Can Porsche, although cars are doing that like weird thing now where you pay monthly to get extra perks, like to turn on your heating.
Yeah, monthly fees.
So maybe it's just ridiculous, but it's his own fault. But surely he can afford 650 quid if he's...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He can clearly afford it. He lives in Chelsea. He's lived there. It's not like he's just moved to Chelsea, so he's got
he bought his house
to his
for
tits. No,
bought his house for £2,000. Now it's worth
he's bought his house in 45 years ago, so it was bought for, like as you say, about £2,000. It's now probably worth about 1.5 million. You know what I mean? Just don't be a twat, Jeff, and just pay for the box, because then he can afford his... I mean, it's one of those things that when insurance gets so high, like it's £10,000, £20,000 to insure it for a year, which obviously is a lot of money, and that's ridiculous, that insurance groups won't even insure you. But there is a solution to this, and that is to put a tracker in his car. But he's adamant he doesn't want to. But do you know? It just feels a little bit like, to me, a bit like a first world problem.
Well, especially when there's a solution.
But plus, there's a solution to it. I mean, people have been quite open on the Reddit about this, because this is where I found the article. People on Reddit kind of brought it up here, and Stevie Pease, great name, said, imagine if it got stolen now, no insurance and no tracker, but maybe he could just have another humble brag to a newspaper about how expensive his car was. I mean, exactly. Lots of people have pointed out, including Zeti Van, that he shouldn't be parking on the street if it's not insured because that's illegal. And that's true. He should be...
Don't they have a garage?
Well, Chelsea, real estate in London, although they probably built one of those underground garages, haven't they? Have you ever seen one of them? People drive their car.
No, I don't like them.
And then an elevator takes them down or up to whatever floor their thing is.
I always have a theory, like when I'm writing a book, if I want to like do like a murder scene, I'm going to do one there. Like when you drive in and then it closes and the car goes down, that's the perfect time to murder someone in the book because there's no escape.
What, in a car elevator?
If someone's in there, yeah. There's no getting out.
You could murder someone in an elevator, then crawl out from the roof of the elevator. So when the elevator... This is very Jonathan Creek. Then when the doors open, there's a dead body in there, but everyone's like, how did he die? How did he die?
I always think that. I think that's a really good setup for a murder. For a book.
Jonathan Creek, now we've put in my head, that should come back.
No, because it's really bad.
It got bad in the end.
Like really, really bad. When the like robot Hoover killed someone. It was like, that's stupid. Right, so before we go then, because we're coming to the end of the show already, can you believe it?
Are you pleased that I found some comments for that as well? Because we have been pointed out a few times that we're called comment below, but we don't ever...
Yes, but all the things we find is through comments online. There's not technically a comment.
Exactly.
No. So the last thing then, very, very quickly, is that Mariah Carey, the Christmas queen, she's back.
It's...
Whistle note, G7. She's not launching, but Mattel are launching a Mariah Carey Barbie.
I must say, I do like it. I think it's hilarious, and I love
it's a Christmas Barbie.
And I love the way there's pictures online of modelled in lots of different scenes, like her sitting at a piano and her singing to a person at the bar and stuff like that. I do love it. I think it's very cool.
So it was released on Friday for $75. I have looked online, and it's now going for $200. So
on eBay or the same website.
So people buy. Yeah, I think this is what Barbie people do, don't they? They buy them and then
everyone does this.
Scalp them.
People buy things people buy things in Aldi when it's on a special buy and then scalp it on eBay.
I know.
Supermarket
needs to be sorted.
Have to bring it back.
So so she's got one. So that's nice, isn't it? Good on Mariah. Got a Christmas Barbie. Some people were saying, I saw comments below on Facebook that people have been looking for the perfect Barbie to use as a tree topper for Christmas. What Christmas fairy?
But they're going to stick it.
They're going to use Mariah Carey. Well, maybe they'll just attach her with a ribbon. Who knows? But they're going to use her as the Christmas topper.
I mean, that makes sense. I like on the poster, the official merchandise poster, it says, "It's time. Ring in the holiday season and celebrate with the incomparable MC Mariah Carey Barbie doll." Mm-hmm. Hailed as one of the best solo artists of all time, Barbie honours this top-charting singer, songwriter, actress. Gosh, she's a triple threat. Notably known for her festive hits, including All I Want for Christmas Is You. Hits, plural, including one song.
But it was a hit multiple times. So
what does that count as multiple songs? Okay, fine.
She's remixed it enough. So there you go, everyone. So if you're looking for a Christmas gift, Mariah Carey, Christmas Barbie.
What other Barbies are there? There must be more than...
The Katy Perry one. She did one.
Katy Perry.
Katy Perry.
Katy Perry.
Stevie Nicks.
Katy Perry sounds like one of those what are they called? Tribute artists. Like
drag queen.
Yeah. Yes, Katy Perry. Oh my god, I'm stealing that. That's gonna be my drag name, Katy Perry.
So lots of Barbies.
They did one for the actress from EastEnders, didn't they? It was the first deaf Barbie. I forget her name.
Yes, Rose Ailing Ellis.
Yes.
Yeah, Rose Ailing Ellis.
Yeah. She did Strictly like 2 years ago. And they still can't forget about it. Would you like a doll made out of you? Because I would genuinely love a doll made.
They do a lot of those pop head figures. They do lots of people, don't they? I don't like one. You want a Barbie?
No, I don't want to be a Barbie. I want to be a Ken.
Well,
I am
the same thing, aren't they?
When we saw the Barbie film, I almost walked in front of a car, and the first thing you said was, "You're so Ken." But I am Ken. But you can actually get. I think I was watching a YouTube video. I think it was Drew Gooden, and he had. There's a website. Oh my god, I might find it. There's a website where you can have dolls made of yourself. And I don't think it's that expensive either.
Commission them yourself.
I think it's obviously, they only make one. They don't make a whole line of them.
No.
But would you like a doll of me? I'm just thinking of Christmas presents.
You shouldn't make it yourself because you'll put the perfect image of yourself on there. So you need to get someone else who knows you to make it.
What image would you use?
And then you need someone else to make yours for you. You can't make your own.
Would you like me to make you one then? Is that what you're hinting at?
No.
Would you like Charlie
I'll make
to be a doll?
No, Charlie's already a doll. But Well, have a look and see how much it is. But you'd have to make each other. You wouldn't be able to make yourself. Otherwise, it wouldn't be true. No, you couldn't. Not truthfully.
Well, you're saying that Mariah Carey didn't have any input whatsoever into what her doll should look like.
No.
But she just left it in Mattel's hands.
Yeah.
Mattel were like, okay. Do you genuinely believe that's what happened? Because I don't.
I do.
She looks a bit like her doll, and she looks a bit like Cheryl Cole.
She got the Cheryl Cole L'Oreal hair, hasn't she? From
well, not to the
2007.
eyes, the kind of like the side eye kind of look.
Well, if you want one, you're gonna have to pay a lot of money now for one, everyone.
Well,
so.
if only we knew beforehand, because I'd actually like a Mariah Carey doll.
We might be able to find one.
Not for $200, I won't.
Never know. So there you go then. That's another show all wrapped up like a Christmas Barbie.
Yes. I still can't imagine him having a pair of the tree topper. I feel a bit sorry for the poor doll.
I'm going to get one for a tree topper now.
Do you know what tree topper I want? And I say this every year, and every year you say, no.
A Mario star.
Star, exactly.
Yeah.
A Super Mario star.
Too plastic.
So what? A Mariah Carey full stop isn't too plastic.
No.
That's right. I went there. No, honestly. Oh God, you're one step away. You're a stepping stone away from that blooming. I can see you hovering. Go on. No, you know what one?
Oh, what?
Your morning wake up. Maybe you don't know. That's the point.
Right. How can people get in contact with us if
yes,
they want to, or follow us, or do whatever?
Yes, okay. So you can find us on X, formerly known as Twitter, at Comment Below Pod. Instagram is commentbelow_pod. Don't forget to follow us and like us, please. Email us, commentbelowpod@gmail.com. If you have any stories that you find during the week that you'd like us to talk about, then we would be more than happy to receive them. Or just say hello. It doesn't matter. It's all fun in the fair, isn't it? You can find us on YouTube if you want to watch the podcast. Just search Comment Below Podcast or BAM Productions. And if you do find us on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe, to like, to comment below, and also ring the bell so you can always get notifications of this podcast and our other podcast, Faithful to the Traitors, which is based on the TV show The Traitors. Funny that, isn't it?
Make sure you go to YouTube and subscribe, because there may be some extra things popping up soon.
We
We're
might
not
have
going to say anything more.
We might have some surprises coming up. Also, what else can you do? Oh, you can tell your friends about us. And if you like listening to the podcast, you can go to your favourite podcast app and rating us 5 stars and comment below why you rated us 5 stars. And also, if you want to support the show, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/faithful. And it helps keep the lights on inside our tiny little nook.
Right, so before we go, I always forgot here. So the last thing, we always leave on a Facebook mum quote of the week. So this one is, the 2 most important days in your life are the day you're born and the day that you find out why. So we'll leave that with everyone, and we will see you all again next week.
Bye, everyone.
Why were you born? Answer below. Goodbye.